Hey, hi YouTube. Welcome to the brand new channel. I'm really excited about the brand new channel. So, last night I was reading An Abundance of Katherines by John Green, and I don't know if anyone else does this, but there are YouTube videos of what people think their dream cast of the book's characters would be, like what they would want to see playing the characters in their novel. I assume you know what I'm talking about. So I went to look up the dream cast of what everyone had made of An Abundance of Katherines, and there were not any dream cast made, and I was really disappointed. So instead, I watched An Abundance of Katherines book review real quick while it was right there anyway, so why not? So I started reading it, and I had what John Green would call a eureka moment. But it's just pretty much just like a big revelation or an epiphany kind of thing. So my eureka moment was that I should be making book reviews, as I've tried to vlog quite a lot and it never really worked out. I didn't really know what to talk about. I just ramble on about my life and it wasn't that interesting and nobody cared, and I understand. So I've decided to make a book review channel, and here it is. Here you are. Here we are. We are making a book review channel. I just threw the book. Okay, so the book we will be talking about today is An Abundance of Katherines by John Green, which I just said I just finished last night, so it's still good and fresh in my brain. The main character is Colin Singleton, who is a skinny. John Green always has these just like skinny little guys as his main characters. I've noticed that, except for in The Fault in Our Stars, then it's not the guy as the main character. But anyways, besides the point. Colin Singleton is a skinny, just graduated out of high school, child prodigy. So he is really smart. His big thing in life is to anagram words, which is not anything that will help him out in life, really. But it's just like a cool, dorky, interesting thing to do. When you anagram words, it's like taking the letters of one word and putting them into a new word, and he can do it so fast. He can just make words out of words, and it's really interesting. I liked reading it. I was kind of jealous. I thought that was really cool. I would like to be able to do something like that. But, I don't know, it was just a really cool little thing that he did all the time. So, he has just been dumped by his 19th Catherine, and he is heartbroken. He needs to go out and do something, needs to get his mind off of it. So his Muslim best friend Hassan comes over and is like, we're going on a road trip. I'm going to convince our parents to go on a road trip. We're going to go get me doing something. You're going to go do something, get your mind off Catherine, number 19 Catherine. So Hassan and Colin convince their parents to let them go out on a road trip. And the road trip only lasts for about 10 pages, so don't think it's like Paper Towns where they're on like a van for at least half the book. No, it's just like 10 pages. So Colin and Hassan are going out on the road until they land in Gutshot, Tennessee, where they go to look at the gravesite of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Their tour guide, Lindsay Lee Wells, leads them out there and ends up kind of taking them in. Lindsay Lee Wells' mother, Hollis, is a big shot around town. She works at the factory as a manager, the textile factory where they make tampon strings. And they are just really rich, and she can afford to let Colin and Hassan stay with them for the summer and pay them $500 a day to interview old people around the factory about their life, really, and people that have retired from the factory, and they just go around interviewing people. So the story really is all about Colin Singleton working on a theorem, because he wants to matter and he wants to leave a mark on the world, and he works on a theorem about the dumpies and the dumpers and how long your relationship's gonna last and who's gonna dump who. And it's all rather interesting, and Lindsay Lee Wells helps him out on this. And it's all about Colin getting over Catherine and Lindsay Lee Wells becoming Colin's second ever friend. And it's just a really great story. And then there's the funny little weird quirks about Hassan that just pop in there. So yeah, it's a really good book. I would recommend it but my recommendation has restrictions on it. If you have not read John Green before, I would recommend reading this or Paper Towns or something like that first before leading up to Looking for Alaska and The Fault in Our Stars, because I read Looking for Alaska and The Fault in Our Stars before I read An Abundance of Katherines and Paper Towns, and by both An Abundance of Katherines and Paper Towns I was a little disappointed because they just weren't the great works of art that Fault in Our Stars and Looking for Alaska was. So I would definitely recommend starting out at something like this by John Green and then working your way up, because otherwise you're going to be disappointed by what is a really great book. It's just you're comparing it to other even greater books and it's kind of a letdown. That being said, this would never be a letdown if you had read this but not read Looking for Alaska or The Fault in Our Stars. So I would definitely recommend starting with this one. And just that's all to be said about An Abundance of Katherines for right now. You're going to have to read it to figure out the rest, because I have decided that I definitely don't want to spoil anything for anyone, so I'm trying to not let out too much, because I usually, whenever I try to tell something about anything, I ended up just going way too overboard and then ruining it for everyone, so I'm not going to do that. So also, on that note, don't put any spoilers in my comments if you're commenting on this. I don't know if it's going to work out, but if you comment on this, don't put any spoilers in it. Okay, and then this is just my little thing to get you guys to come back. The next book I'm going to be reviewing in my next video will be Struck by Lightning by Chris Colfer. Chris Colfer was Kurt on Glee, if you know him by that. So then he went on to do this. I'm sure you have seen the trailers for the movie of this. So I will be reviewing that in my next video. So between right now and my next video, you guys should go read some John Green and then come back to see my next review. So for now, keep reading. Thank you for watching, guys.